Um, Hello, everyone. We would like to welcome you and thank you for your time for this webinar. We're waiting for a few more attendees to join today's session. As you know that it is hosted by TEKLER and presented by ZMOF team. Before we start our presentation and webinar, I would like to put up some house rules so that we can take it very easily. Specifically where you want to, if you face any difficulties using the Zoom platform, so please you can put up a question directly to us where you can see in the middle of your screen. You can ask the question directly in the chat Q&A box. Other thing is in order to make it very smooth, we have mute all the mics for the attendees and the webcams are disabled, so there is no disturbance during the webinar for the presenter. You can only hear and see the presenter. We also have a session, Q&A session at the end of this webinar. So feel free to ask any questions, any doubts you may like to get clarification. At the end of the session, we have 15 minutes, so you can directly ask your questions. Thank you. And to start with now, I would like to invite my colleagues from ZMOF and TEKLER and introduce them to you. So today we have ZMOF team, Eliza Robel and Bartek Rozuki as our co-presenter, and my name is Vikar Sayed. I will be the moderator, and Mr. Eli Dar, managing partner for TEKLER. So please, Eliza, I invite you to start this webinar. The stage is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thanks for joining. We are happy to be with you, and let's talk about some cool stuff, which is ZMorph VX. So let's start. The TEKLER company, and here I would like to ask Bartek, my colleague, to say a few words about us. Bartek, could you say a few words?
Sure. Hello, my name is Bartek Rusecki. I'm the sales manager at ZMorph. ZMorph is a Polish company. We've been on the market for more than 6 years right now. We are a Polish manufacturer of multi-tool 3D printer. You can find our product in more than 40 countries. And our main goal is to deliver the high quality product to both education and industry sector. And thanks to the partnership with TEKLER, we are now present in the GCC countries. So now let's maybe Vikar can introduce the company, the TEKLER.
Yeah, so thank you, Bartek. TEKLER is a UAE-based company and exclusive distributor for ZMorph. We are also the academic partner for ZMorph in GCC countries. Our services not only involves sales of the 3D printer, but also providing vital support. We also work with academics and institutes to map the curriculum, provide CNC and CAD training for the teachers so that they can understand and apply 3D printing in product design and teaching curriculum. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so the main topic why we gather here is, of course, ZMorph VX. And what is actually ZMorph VX? ZMorph All-in-One is a desktop solution for multi-purpose fabrication. So it's a system which allows the user to experience a few methods of manufacturing. With ZMorph, you can learn both single and dual 3D printing, CNC milling, laser cutting and engraving, and much more. Let's have a short look. How does the environment and look like, the platform. Zimorph is really easy to set up, and it's really intuitive ecosystem. Everything is easy to exchange with other toolhead. The magnetic system covers, everything is so easy for user to change and exchange. Now I would like to show you example of Zimorph performance, which is the architectural mockup. And this is the example of usage of Zimorph VX when we use all of the method of fabrication. So as you see, the landform is CNC milled from plywood. The building itself is printed from Dual Pro by 2 PLA materials. And we have trees over there which are laser cut. Let's move forward with the video. This another example. It is actual speaker which also combines all methods of fabrication. Inside there is also electronic which is made by our tool as well. Our machine is really silent, so you can actually use it right next to you in the office or in the classroom or in the home as well. So in your private workshop. So yeah, Zimorph is a platform for multi-purpose, and not just Zimorph doesn't take just a part in some projects. Zimorph actually can make project itself thanks to this all few method of fabrication. And
what is very important is that we put a huge focus on how the machine is built. We use high quality components. We want to make sure that we deliver the top quality product, because we know that it's very important for our clients.
And since Zimorph combines all of these methods, the main question is how actually we switch one workflow to another one. And this is actually very easy, and I'm going to present you how fast is this. So switching workflow to another one, it's just basically disconnecting and losing the screw mounting tool head, pulling it back, taking another one and mounting, connecting the cables, and also tighten the screw. CNC and laser requires also swapping the table to aluminum one. Last step is just picking the workflow on the display. So that's it, guys. It was just less than 1 minute and you are good to go. Huge advantage of owning a Zimorph all-in-one printer is having, as we mentioned, all of these workflows combined in one hardware. It saves not only your space, but also your expenses, your money that you would otherwise have to spend for a few other machines, which is really important for education sector.
Yes, this is the challenge that we. This is something the most challenging for the customers, because usually if you want, for example, at school, if you want to use each of these fabrication methods, you need to have 3 separated methods. So our idea is to combine each of them to save your space and money, because with the Zimorph VX, you can adjust the machine to your curriculum. As you can diversify your curriculum, and you can do much more things with the machine than that you can do if you have just a 3D printer.
Yeah, this multi-tool capabilities actually is they actually are an additional benefit for education, because students actually can have access to this way of fabrication, which is generally is hard to try on your own skin, let's say. So this is huge benefit of having like small sample on your desk, which teach you how to manufacture a few different ways. And it applies many applications, which we are gonna talk in next steps. First of all, going further with the presentation, we would like to divide workflows by section. So first, we are going to focus on 3D printing. 3D printing, as most of you know, and for these who doesn't know, It is creating model. It's additional way of creating model by building it by layer, and this comes thanks to the machine and also thanks to the extruder. So ZMorph full set comes with two types of extruder. One is a single one, and one is dual for two color or two material printing, and both are compatible with 1.75 millimeters filament. Filament system is open, so you have no need to use our filaments. You can also work with other brands and any other filaments available on the market. And closed construction allows 3D printing with materials that require a stable temperature, such as IBS. So this temperature is kept at the same temperature in the whole process in chamber, improving adhesion to the bed and also print quality. And closed structure also profits in case of safety, because we don't allow others to interrupt our print. 3D printing workflow allows to take advantage of auto calibration. Hence, the machine is easy to use and plug and play, as we saw on the previous video. Let's move forward to CNC milling. CNC milling is actually a kind of opposite way of creating models because it's subtractive, and it is shaping an object by cutting it out from a piece of material. So for this process, we need a CNC tool head and some cutting bits. CNC bits comes with many shapes and many different sizes for many purposes. For example, we have a universal toolkit with flat-ended bills in 3 different sizes. We have tools, we have bits for engraving, as was shown on the video. Let's maybe play again one more time.
And this is accurate. It's actually a great proof of how you can use the machine in business, in everyday life, because this video presents the buttons that are being used to manufacture our machine, which were prepared by the CNC of the VX.
So yeah, this was live example of using our CNC toolhead with engraving toolkit. And we provide also the set to work with composites, such for example carbon materials. And now one of the coolest toolheads, which is actually a laser. Laser is equipped with 2.8 watts diode, and it's great tool for signage and customizations. So thanks to the interchangeable toolhead system, you can turn your 3D printer into a laser engraver in actually no time, as we also saw before. So with the Laser Pro toolhead, you can create custom PCBs, leather goods, and engrave on wood, cardboards, cut some foils, and also foams. But you also must remember to use protective glasses, which we also got it for you because the protective glasses comes with ZMorph full set. Laser is popular in the field of design, when you actually can design your own projects on some ready objects as well, but you can also create your project. And now, Bartek, let's have Bartek, do you like a chocolate? I mean, are you a big fan of chocolate? Because I don't know anyone who doesn't like chocolate, right?
Yes, and this is the next toolhead that we are going to present is the paste extruder for chocolate. And actually, this is a great tool, especially for educators from the primary schools. So for the educators that work with the early stage students, because the thing about this toolhead is that it has exactly the same fundament that 3D printing has, which is the G-code. So as Eliza said, who doesn't like chocolate, right? We've all been to primary school, we've all been there, so we know that sometimes you need to motivate your students especially at the early stage of education. So by using the paste extruder, you can introduce the G-code, which is the basic of 3D printing. You can show them how it works. They can have fun with that, which allows you to smoothly move from printing with chocolate to 3D printing.
Exactly. And being a child, I would love to actually decorate my own birthday cake. I mean, who doesn't? Okay, about the toolheads, that would be all. Let's talk about more about controlling actually, because for preparation G-code, and G-code is instruction for the machine, you need to actually have a program. And ZMorph comes with our own software, which is voxelizer. And with ZMorph, you have a lifetime license, of course. And the most important thing about the software is, as a machine itself, as a hardware, is that it combines 3 workflow well in the one environmental. So there is no need to have a different software for each method of fabrication. And so, yeah, please.
Yeah, and a very important thing, because I know that many clients, they ask about it. With the purchase of the VX, you receive a lifetime license for our software, which means that you don't have to pay for that. And what is even more important for educators, you can use the voxelizer on multiple computers, right? So if you have your license, your students can use it on each of the computers in your classroom, which makes your life easier, right? So each of them can have the access to the software, and they can see how it works, they can learn, and in the end they can prepare their own G-codes and 3D print or use CNC laser.
So basically, let's have a small preview how actually voxelizer looks like, because after launching, you just pick your ZMorph model and toolhead that you are going to work with and nozzle, and you are ready to go. And after importing the model, we are actually in the first, we are in the first step, because the program is 3-step constructed. So first step, which we are actually in, it is about adjusting the model. So here you can scale it up, you can adjust, you can put into a position that you are interested in, and we are moving further to the next step. This step is basically about the settings. So you decide how tough your model should be. Do you need support or no? It's more about 3D printing settings. And at the end, the third step, which is actually G-code, the instruction for the machine, which you save it and you deliver to the machine. Okay, that's all being said about the hardware and software. Let's talk about right now about materials, because ZMorph as a machine is compatible with around 50 types of materials for both subtractive and additive manufacturing. And as a ZMorph, we prepared a huge source of knowledge about materials for all of this method of fabrication. And we gathered this knowledge in ZMorph materials library, which we are presenting you. There is also a link, so we encourage you guys to take a look, because this is a huge portion of knowledge which we gathered, which we test in here. We actually work with every single one of these materials. And to not be to prove you that I am not kidding or something. Yeah, this is actually the list of specific materials. It covers basic 3D printing from popular materials such as PLA, PET, ABS, or also some more engineering ones as a PC or PP. We also compatible with flexible materials. And same in CNC laser engraving, such a basic materials as a plywood and wood, but also going into CNC mill wax or some engineering materials.
And the ZMorph materials library is a very, very valuable content for the users, because it does not only indicate the 48, almost 50 materials that that we have tested, that we will recommend to use with the machine. But we also wanted to make sure that we provide with the full information, description and recommendation of or how to use the materials, which settings to set, because you need to know that in this kind of machines, the settings are essential, right? So you will see all these recommendations there, and this will simply make your life easier when using these materials. And as mentioned before, with the 3D printing, each of these materials, they are available at our offer, of course, with TEKLER. But you don't need to purchase specific our brand materials. You can simply purchase it separately, and still it will work with the machine.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So let's have a few words about the application, because combining all of these three workflows gives you a lot of opportunities to create such enormous projects, and in many kind of fields. For example, the main usage in ZMorph is in education. It's a great tool for creation functional prototypes and concept models. It's a tool to produce your own jewelry, architectural mock-ups, and also some arts and crafts.
Yes, and here these are, of course, the main examples that for the purpose of this webinar we decided to indicate. But what is pretty funny, let's say, and interesting is that ZMorph is very versatile product. And it allows you to think about, let's say, your own applications, because even though we are the manufacturer, sometimes our customers, they contact us, and we are pretty surprised of what is their application for the machine. So it gives you the possibility to let's say diversify the usage of the machine. And use it in many ways. Here, for example, indicated. So with one product at school and at the makerspace FabLab, you can have one product which can be used in many different lessons, programs, in many different ways, which is pretty important, especially from the point of view of, let's say, the school principal who wants to minimize the costs, but maximize the potential of and possibilities of the machine that the machine gives you.
Exactly. So ZMorph applies to the lessons about electronics. ZMorph applies to the lesson about architecture. ZMorph applies to the topics related with design. So generally the possibilities are huge, and just our brains should be, let's say, open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we discussed the hardware, we discussed the software, we said a few words about materials and applications, and all of the stuff for the beginner, for someone who doesn't know ZMorph actually. All of this stuff sounds cool, right? But if you are new to ZMorph environmental and new into the 3D printing, CNC milling, and laser engraving, you probably wonder how you are going to accomplish and learn all of these methods, right? But in here, guys, don't worry. There is a learning free platform for all ZMorph users, which we are going to talk about in there further. So
yes.
Let's focus in here right now more about the education sector.
Mm-hmm. Because as I mentioned before, if you have just a 3D printer, you need to adjust the curriculum to your machine. With the VX, with the ZMorph VX, with the versatility, thanks to the versatility of the machine, you can adjust the machine to your curriculum. And this is very important, especially nowadays, because 3D printing and prototyping, CNC, laser engraving, this is something that is normal in business now. It's normal in in production process everywhere. So this is very important for us to introduce this kind of machine to education. So the future generation could consider 3D printing or prototyping not as a future technology, but as a today's technology. And this is why it's very, very important to start from the bottom, from the early age. Right, Vikar?
Yes, so here I would like to add a little bit more into the education part of 3D printing. As Bartek and Eliza has highlighted how easy it is to bring ZMOF in the classroom and straight away get into 3D printing, CNC and laser, which is somewhat difficult if you have 3 different machines using in the classroom. Well, 3D printing as such has been in the industry a long time, but it is recently getting more and more popular in the classroom, just like robotics and AI was introduced some time back, and it has become a part of the curriculum. 3D printing is also becoming very popular, especially when you talk about today a student want to learn about product design, a teacher wants to present a case study about science or maths. They can make their own molecule structures to present. It allows students to feel their design and see the actual object in front of their eyes, which takes away a guessing work about it. We talk about 3D printing. It has a specific application in STEM or STEAM education, makerspace, Fab Lab. The challenge is that once they understand that they can create anything out of a product like ZMOF, the question is that what project they should take care of, whether they can build their own drone, make their own robot, or maybe they can work on renewable energy project. So these are the things which are very interesting and becoming more and more popular as project-based learning inside the classroom. So when we bring something like ZMOF in the classroom, it's very easy for them to work in. Maybe they have a project related to Arduino or Raspberry Pi, and they want to make a casing out of it or make a product structure. They can quickly do it with ZMOF. ZMOF also supports a lot of CAD softwares and platforms. So the moment they are comfortable with Autodesk or SolidWorks or any other Tinkercad software, they can quickly import that design and print it in ZMOF. It is also important that today, because of the lack of the budget, and also the teachers don't have time to teach all these complicated design softwares and the processes which is involved in digital fabrication. Having something like ZMOF allows you to experiment, which students or teacher would hesitate because of time consuming activity. So looking at it, it addresses a lot of areas where teachers can comfortably implement STEM education in the classroom. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And as you can heard from Vikar, education, okay, but it's education is not only about school or university. Of course, it is. As you can see, ZMOF is being used worldwide as part of classroom, university lab, but also STEM or Fab Labs and maker spaces. And here on the photo, you can see an example of usage of the ZMOF in the so-called makerspace. This is a project of our distributor in Brazil, 3D Crear, together with Leroy Merlin, where they created an open digital manufacturing lab where people can simply give a creative space and materialize their projects and ideas. So as you can see, this is a very wide possibility of usage of the VX in the education, but also in many other ways on the makerspaces.
Exactly, but and also spaces such as Fab Labs and some libraries, maker spaces, it also brings people to, as we mentioned before, experience some way of manufacturing, but it also, you know, trigger your imagination, right? I mean, you have access to tools, you have access to machines, you have access to software, which allows you to create really complex projects. So it gives you also feeling, improves your, like, let's say, feeling handy, right? It's also triggers, as I mentioned, your imagination. So the possibilities go really wide, and you don't know actually what you're gonna live with this space, yeah, right? So let's move forward. And as we mentioned before, it sounds a bit overwhelming. We know, guys, there is a few methods of fabrication, there are tool heads, there is software, there are materials, all of this stuff gathered together is huge deal. We know this, but no worry. We have some help in here for you.
And yeah, and this is very, very important, because from the, let's say, business side of view, or customers point of view, nowadays it's not enough to deliver just the machine. You need to deliver the proper content. You need to deliver, we here at Zimorph we call it the things around the product, right? So we want to make sure that our users are not feeling left with the product, that we deliver the proper content, and that's why we introduced many ways of delivering this content. First of all, there is a free access to Zimorph Academy. Zimorph Academy is a free online course that takes you step by step from the very beginning, which is even unboxing the printer. Because we know that it's a big package coming to you. You can be pretty excited, so we want to make sure that everything is done perfect. So we show you how to properly unpack the product, how to plug it in, how to download the software, how to make your first 3D print, because we know that for some people it's the first 3D print, some are more advanced, but still they use the Zimorph Academy to make sure that they know how to use Zimorph. And of course, going further, you go to the more advanced levels, from 3D printing through CNC, laser, and in the end you finish on the advanced level where you can prepare your own PCB board. And this is very important, that you can enroll the Zimorph Academy even if you are not the user of Zimorph. We made it free, we made it online, so you can enroll it even just after the webinar. You can check it out you can just Google Zimorph Academy and check it. We also have the Zimorph knowledge base, where we put all of the content in articles. We have our catalogs, Zimorph materials library mentioned, and of course with TEKLER you will be able to receive all of that. It's just a simple question: where can I get it? And also we invite you to our active community of Zimorph users, where we share the ideas. If you have any questions, you can simply post it there, and sometimes even other users are faster than we are, and, and they are always happy to help. So this is a very important thing, that we also deliver the content, and we are listening to our customers. If they tell us and they ask us about something, we try to deliver the content to all the users as soon as possible.
We want to create a friendly environmental and friendly connections with our users and customers. So all of this community, our relation with our partners, we are shortening the distance to make us like friendly environment, and you can always ask any questions. You can always, we will help you to get through some processes or through learning process. So guys, don't hesitate and just contact us. We are also humans behind all of this overwhelming information. So just feel free to write us a message.
And here, to show you, to prove that we are the best multi-tool on the market, these are the badges that we received from All3DP, one of the most popular platforms for 3D printing. which means that we have been named the best all-in-one, the best three-in-one 3D printer for 2 years now, which is the proof of my words that I mentioned at the very beginning, that with the purchase of the ZIMOR VX, you do not receive only the free workflows in one machine, but also you can be sure that you receive a high quality product with that is well built. And even once one of the reviewers said that ZIMOR is built like a tank. So I know it's very important for the customers that when they spend money, they want to receive the best product on the market. And with the ZIMOR, you receive the best multi-tool. Okay, so from our side, from ZIMOR side, these are all the information that we included in our presentation. Now I would just like to remind that in the GCC region, we are with TEKLER printing equipment. Thanks to the partnership with them, we can deliver our products in to many platforms, many places, such as schools, university labs, maker spaces, fab labs, STEM. Anytime you would like to know something more about the ZIMOR in GCC region, you should contact TEKLER, as we highly recommend the cooperation with that, because it's very important that ZIMOR is a kind of product that needs local partners such as TEKLER, because they will not only provide you with the product, but they have the whole plan for your education. They will provide you with the local support, service, even the installation of the machine. So I think now Vikar, right, will move forward with the with contacting. Hello, Vikar.
Yeah, thank you, Bartek. Thank you, Eliza. So because majority of the attendees are from our region GCC countries, so I would like you to take note of our contact details. We are happy to support in terms of any demo required, or if you have further questions, you can write it to us. We understand that it's a critical decision to select the right kind of equipment in the classroom or for product design. And we receive a lot of requests regarding the capabilities of the tool. And what we want to convey is that although we call it as all-in-one machine, but it really does justice to whatever job you're doing with the extruder. For example, if you're doing CNC, it works as a CNC machine. It doesn't work like a makeshift arrangement of a 3D printer, and it can somewhat do a laser or somewhat do a CNC machine. So we are happy to guide. Also, we provide consultancy services in terms of product design. So in case if you want to launch a product, or if you have any idea where you want any help with your 3D modeling or design, we are happy to support with you, because we have in-house capabilities to support that, and also make sure that we help you with a prototype to give you a confidence in investing in this product. So my contact details you can find in this particular slide, and we are based in the Business Bay, which is Churchill Tower in UAE. So I think we can move on to the Q&A session now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would like to convey that there are many questions we have to address, but because of the limited time and constraint of the time, I would like to pick up a few of them before we end up this webinar. So the first question, which is right now on my screen, is talking about can ZIMOR support prototyping, especially when you talk about fabrication, like using a laser on products like wallet, leather, or handbags. So Eliza, maybe you can answer this, how easy it is to use a ZIMOR, specifically CNC and laser, in custom designing the leather products?
Generally, ZMorph is compatible with the leather goods and products. So, of course, you can cut the designs, cut the shapes, but the most important, you can also engrave on the wallets on ready products, but also like the leather as a material that you got from your local manufacturing. So yeah, that is possible, but you must know that working with leather, with ZMorph and the laser, it's really important to use the machine in really a nice ventilated environment, in the ventilated room, because there is really a strong smell. Let's be honest. Yeah, the smell is really disturbing. So you gotta with leather, you have to have ventilated room.
And if you go to our blog or you contact TEKLER, they can show you the use cases, because we've made the use cases specifically for leather. So I think it will be the best answer to this question.
Yeah, exactly. You can find on our blog content about local leather wallets and purses, actually, which our friend in did, and they are pretty cool.
Okay, so thank you for addressing that question. The next question is related to the safety issue in the classroom. When we are using laser, so the participant wants to know how safe it is to use a laser on a desktop.
Okay.
Maybe Bartek, you can answer this question.
So we know that the safety is the main priority for both educators and ZMorph for us, because we want to make sure that we deliver the safe product. So with the purchase of the VX in the package, you receive the laser safety glasses, which protect your eyes from the laser. But also we have the laser safety instruction, which describes how to properly use this tool head. And thanks to all of these items, which is the instruction and the laser safety glasses, you can be sure that laser is safe for your health and for your students.
What is also important, the construction of the toolhead itself is also protects your eyes. Of course, not fully, and you always must use your glasses, but when you take a look on our toolhead, you will see that there is tube which covers the diode light. So you are not looking into the diode, it's the diode itself. So you are already some kind of protected, but the glasses is must have.
Okay, great. Okay, so the next question which is there is right now, I think I will answer this question because it is related to TEKLER. It is asking about which country we are based. So obviously we are based in UAE. As you can see this slide, our address, we are based in Business Bay in Dubai. And but we also have a good network of resellers and partners which we work regionally. For example, Jordan, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Oman. So we can definitely provide you the contact details based on your location and arrange for a communication in that. Thank you. Okay. So I would like to move on to the next question, which is related to can we buy a base model and then add the capabilities of CNC laser and buy these extruders separately? So I think Bartek, you can answer this.
Yes, you can. It's a simple answer. We do not want to push any clients to purchase each of the workflows. We leave the decision to the customer. So when you contact TEKLER, I'm sure they will introduce you with more specific information. But you can choose your set. So if you want to have just a CNC machine, which you will later on extend into the 3D printing, it's not a problem. If you want just a 3D printer with a CNC, it's not a problem. So it's a very versatile product, but it gives you the possibility of deciding which machine you want to have. So to sum up, yes, you can.
Okay, great. The next question is related to voxelizer. The question is, are there updates regarding voxelizer experimental? When will the new workflow example CNC implemented in the normal voxelizer?
Yes, yeah, I'm helping here, let's say. Yes, we are working right now on the voxelizer. So official release actually based on experimental, which will be focused not only on CNC, but also on the other workflows. And it's just a matter of time. It's already tested, are being provided in our company.
Yeah, and it will be soon. It will be soon released. We are constantly working to improve our company, and our software is a big part of that. So we can be sure that soon you will receive the information regarding the update of the software, which I can already tell you will be even better.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you, Bartek. The next question is that what is X carriage cable holder? It is related to spare or it is like a tool?
Could you repeat? I'm sorry.
The question is, what is X carriage cable holder?
X carriage cable holder.
I actually honestly don't understand the question.
It's the cable that you use to connect the toolhead.
Okay, fine. So maybe if you can email us this one, we can give you a complete specification and a picture also. I think this question is from an existing user who wants to know about the cable holder. What is this called, or maybe is it difficult to find inside the package?
Yeah, so I think it will be best to contact through email.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. The next question I'd like to take is, how about a voxelizer webinar? I would like to learn the best definition of 3D printing, example, infill, first layer, etc., laser, and CNC. So yeah, Bartek, if you can throw some light on that.
Yeah, I mean, since this, as we mentioned, the product is in progress and a new voxelizer will come soon. We already discussed also to give you guys more information about voxelizer itself. So after the launching product, most probably something like this will happen. So the webinar is one of the points on our list.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So the next question is related to the pricing, which obviously we would, after this webinar, we would like to send all the details regarding the product specification and pricing to all the attendees who have, who are present in this session. So I think that will help them to understand about the price. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So my next question is that, can I get detailed literature, illustration, the capabilities and the potential apps of 3D printing?
Yeah, this is also knowledge that maybe we could better provide by communicating with us by email or by message, because we would have to spend here another 45 minutes and talk about this. So yeah, please follow this information to me and I will happily answer to this.
Yeah, and I also like to add on this is that we have ZMOF Academy, which has got many useful literatures as well as tips and tricks, and also lesson plans which are specifically designed to address difficulties, or at least help the user to get started. So we encourage all the attendees to create a login for their ZMOF Academy and take advantage of learning about this new technology in terms of laser and CNC. So I hope this will help you to understand more.
And of course, there is a manual of the machine and the mentioned ZMOF Academy. I believe that it is also a very important part of illustrating the capabilities of the machine, because then you will know you have simply indicated which materials you should use and what settings you should use, which is very important from the user side of view.
Basically, all of these questions based on how to use a machine, how to use workflows, what is this, what is that, how to unpack, how to prepare and set up. All of this information are in the Zimorph Academy, so we really encourage you to enroll for free anytime.
Okay, so the next question is regarding the dual extruder. Is it possible to stop the print and again start from a particular point, or it has to be started from the original point in case the user wants to change the filament?
But for Dual Pro, there is no need to change filament manually. I mean, when you prepare instruction for the file, the machine reads the instruction from the G code, and machine itself know when to load another materials. You don't do this guys manually. So you basically prepare a toolhead with both filaments feeded, and the machine does the other job. So you don't do, there is no need to you do it manually.
Okay, great. Thank you, Eliza. The next question is related to software application. Is the machine compatible with drawing application like Adobe Illustrator?
Generally, to use voxelizer, because I'm thinking this question regarding to engraving or CNC milling.
Yes.
All you need, guys, is just a file. So I mean, basically, you don't have even when you have a file like a DXF, for example, which is vector file, the voxelizer will transform this to the instruction for the laser. So all you need is just a DXF file. So you don't need to have Adobe, you don't need to have Illustrator specifically. It can be any other program which export DXF file, which is best for laser cutting, because I'm assuming this question regarding to laser cutting.
Yes, I think that it is related to laser application. So essentially, voxelizer allows you to scale, duplicate, or resize your models from a 3D modeling environment, or Adobe Illustrator, or any other carving software, so that you can comfortably place it in and go ahead with your printing.
Exactly, and in case of, for example, preparation some signature, here also comes voxelizer, because there is an option to prepare a small design, really basic one, but there is to prepare, for example, your name or the location or something combined from letters. You can already do this in voxelizer, so there is no need having extra software for this.
Okay, so we still have a couple of minutes left before I conclude this. The last question right now I can see is, okay, do you provide consumables or can buy online from your suppliers? How do you support with the consumables?
Can you repeat the question? You mean the materials, right?
Yeah, the question is that, do you supply, or if the user want to order the CNC materials, or like acrylic wood, or maybe filaments, so do you also support and supply the consumables?
Yes, we do, but we recommend to purchase with TEKLER. It is our partner in GCC region. So basically, for the GCC region, we supply through TEKLER. And from other regions, we also have distributors and our online stores. So it depends on how the customer wants to purchase. But as this webinar is directly for the GCC region, the answer is we supply through TEKLER printing equipment.
Yeah, and we provide filaments for printing. We provide pieces of materials for CNC and laser cutting, and we provide also tools, as we discussed, the bits for CNC in many kinds.
Okay, so there is another question which talks about the size. I think it is related to printing. So what is the maximum size, bigger size you can print?
So the space, the dimension of the workbed of ZMorph is 235 millimeters per 250 millimeters, and in the Z-axis is 175 millimeters.
So 250 by 250 by 150, right?
235 per 250 per 165, and also depending on the using toolhead. But since question regarding to printing, this is the maximum space for using 3D printing.
But as Vikar said, after the webinar, you will receive the specification of the product, and all the specification questions will be answered by this email.
Like that.
Okay, great. So I guess we have to conclude today's webinar, and we try to address as many as questions possible. Before we end, I would like to thank Team ZMorph, Eliza and Bartek for such a wonderful presentation. It was really nice to have you guys talking about ZMorph and explaining about the features. I would like to thank Ellie and of course, all the participants who have taken off their time today, and we always remain at your service to answer and support you. Anything is required related to 3D printing and ZMorph product in our region. And thank you very much. Stay safe and healthy. Take care, and I will say goodbye from on behalf of everybody.
Thank you
So much,
thank you for
guys.
having us, and I hope it's not the last chance to meet with you.
Yes.